The rumor didn't start loudly. It started in whispers. In a dimly lit beer parlor at the edge of a Kute town, where men gathered after work to wash dust down their throats with cheap gin and loud laughter, one sentence slipped from a careless mouth. "She's beautiful, yes, but once you enter, you'll never feel anything." Laughter followed, sharp, cruel, drunk. By sunrise, that sentence had grown legs. By noon, it had a name attached. Zainab. She felt it before she heard it. People stopped greeting her the way they used to. Women smiled too politely. Men stared, then looked away quickly like they had seen something shameful. At the tailoring shop where she worked, the chatter changed whenever she walked in. A needle pricked her finger. Blood bloomed. She didn't feel the pain. Something was wrong, but she didn't know what yet. 3 nights earlier, Zainab had believed she was finally safe. After years of rejection masked as bad timing, she agreed to let Hassan stay over. Hassan was confident, smooth-talking, and relentless. He had sworn he loved her patience, her calm nature, her body. "You're a real woman," he always said, "not like these skinny girls." She believed him. That night, when things happened too easily, when there was no hesitation, no resistance, no intensity, Zainab noticed the change in his breathing. He pulled away, confused, tried again. His face hardened. He didn't say anything at first, just rolled away from her, grabbed his phone, and laughed at something that wasn't funny. The silence between them screamed. "What's wrong?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Hassan sighed. "Nothing," he said. "I'm just tired." He left before dawn. He didn't call again. By the 4th day, Zainab knew. She stood behind the shop counter as 2 girls walked past, giggling. "Is that her?" "Yes, that one." "I heard men don't even feel her." They didn't lower their voices. The words slammed into her chest like stones. Her knees weakened. She leaned against the table, heart pounding. That night, she locked herself in her room and cried until her throat burned. Memories replayed themselves. Men who had pulled away too fast. Excuses that never made sense. Relationships that ended suddenly after intimacy. It wasn't coincidence. It was her. Her aunt was the first to say it out loud. "You need to stop pretending," Aunt Rahila snapped during dinner. "Men don't leave a good woman for no reason." Her mother avoided her eyes. "What are people saying?" she asked quietly. Rahila scoffed. "They're saying your body is loose, too loose." The word felt like poison. Zainab's ears rang. Her father slammed his spoon on the table. "Enough!" But it was too late. The damage had already been done. She tried to fix it. She really did. She visited a nurse secretly in a nearby town. The examination was quick, clinical, cold. "There's nothing medically wrong," the nurse said, adjusting her gloves. "Some women are just built differently." "Can it be corrected?" The nurse hesitated. "Not without surgery, and even that isn't guaranteed." Zainab walked home in silence. The sun felt heavier that day. Then came the messages. Men she had never spoken to before sent disgusting jokes. Others asked direct, shameless questions. One sent a voice note laughing. "You're free now, Abby, since nobody will marry you." She deleted everything, locked her phone away. But she couldn't delete the looks, or the whispers, or the way respect drained out of rooms when she entered. One evening, as she closed the shop, she noticed someone standing across the road, watching her. Hassan. He didn't approach, he didn't greet, he just smirked and turned away. Her stomach twisted. That is when she understood something terrifying. This wasn't going to pass.
This wasn't gossip that would die.
This was a label, and it would follow her everywhere. She lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling, listening to her mother cry softly in the next room. Zainab pressed her fist to her mouth to silence her own sob. If this was how it started, what would be left of her by the end? But she didn't know yet. Someone else was watching her too, and their intentions were very different. The first man came pretending to care. He met Zainab outside the tailoring shop, leaning casually against a parked motorcycle like he had nowhere else to be. "I heard people have been unfair to you," he said softly. "You don't deserve that." Zainab studied his face. Ibrahim, a mechanic, married once, divorced quietly. Her chest tightened. "You shouldn't listen to gossip." He smiled. "Gossip doesn't scare me." That night, against every instinct screaming inside her, she let herself believe him. But halfway through the moment that was supposed to feel like connection, Ibrahim's hands slowed. His breathing changed. He shifted, frowned, tried again. Then he stopped completely. He sat up, eyes distant, like a man calculating losses. "So it's true," he muttered. Zainab wrapped the sheet around herself, shaking. "What is true?" He didn't answer. He just stood up, pulled on his clothes, and left without looking back. By morning, his number was unreachable. By evening, the rumor had sharpened. She wastes men's time. She traps them with beauty. She should warn people first. Each sentence sliced deeper than the last. Then came the second type of men, the ones who didn't pretend. They didn't come with promises or respect. They came with curiosity. One laughed openly when she refused him. "Relax, we just want to confirm what everyone's saying." Another offered money. "No marriage stress, just let me see." Zainab felt filthy without being touched. She stopped going out alone, stopped dressing nicely, stopped looking people in the eye. But hiding didn't protect her. Her mother tried to help in her own broken way. "Maybe you should marry someone older," she suggested one night. "Someone who doesn't care much about feelings." Zainab stared at her. "Do you hear yourself?" Her mother burst into tears. "I just don't want you to end up alone." That word alone lodged itself in Zainab's chest and refused to move. Then Sadiq arrived. He was quiet, soft-spoken, a school administrator recently transferred into town. No loud friends, no public opinions. He approached her with caution. "I don't want anything physical," he said plainly. "I want companionship, respect." She laughed bitterly. "You'll change your mind." "Then I'll leave honestly," he replied. For weeks they talked, walked, shared meals in public places. He never touched her without permission, never pushed. Against her will, hope crept back in. But hope is dangerous when it's desperate. The night Sadiq finally kissed her, Zainab trembled, not from fear, but from longing. Later, when his silence stretched too long, she already knew. He exhaled slowly. "You're a good woman." Her heart sunk. "But I can't lie to myself," he continued. "I need more." He didn't insult her. That almost hurt worse. After Sadiq, Zainab stopped trying. She stopped explaining. She stopped defending herself. She focused on work, sewing until her fingers ached, stacking money she had no plans for. At night, she lay awake wondering what crime she committed to deserve a body that betrayed her. Then, one afternoon, while delivering finished clothes to a warehouse, she collided with a stranger. Fabric spilled everywhere. "Oh, sorry," the man said quickly, kneeling to help her gather the clothes. "I'm Tunday. I export textiles." Zainab nodded politely,
already stepping back. But he didn't ask questions, didn't stare, didn't whisper. He just smiled and said, "Your stitches are beautiful." Zainab froze. Zainab didn't trust Tunday. Not at first. Men who smiled too gently always turned sharp later. Experience had taught her that. But Tunday kept showing up, never unannounced, never intrusive. Sometimes to pick up finished fabrics, sometimes just to sit across from her at the shop and watch her work. Weeks passed. No pressure, no probing questions, no touching that lingered too long. That scared her more than rejection ever had. One evening, as the market lights flickered on, Tunday finally said it. "I want to court you properly." Her heart pounded. "You don't know me." "I know enough to want to learn," he replied. She laughed without humor. "People have already told you stories." He didn't deny it. "They have." "And you're still here?" "Yes." She searched his face for mockery, found none. That night she cried, not from pain, but from confusion. Zainab decided to test him. She told him the truth, not all at once, piece by piece. The failed relationships, the humiliation, the word people used when they thought she couldn't hear. She expected disgust. Instead, Tunday was quiet. Finally, he said, "I won't pretend I don't care about intimacy, but I care more about honesty." That was not reassurance. That was reality. And reality was heavier than promises. They tried, carefully, slowly, with patience and communication. But love didn't change her body, and her body didn't change his reactions. Tunday never mocked her, never exposed her, but the disappointment crept into his eyes anyway, uninvited, uncontrollable. He tried to hide it. She saw it every time he turned away too quickly, every time his hands paused mid-touch, every time silence replaced affection. One night, Zainab asked the question she had been avoiding. "If I stay like this forever, will you stay?" Tunday didn't answer immediately. That pause destroyed her. "I don't know," he said honestly. "I want to say yes, but I don't want to lie." She nodded, because lies had already ruined enough of her life. Pressure came from everywhere. His mother asked questions. Friends joked carelessly. "You're a man, not a saint?" Someone laughed. Zainab began to shrink again. She stopped initiating conversations, stopped wearing colors he liked, stopped dreaming. Then, one morning, she overheard Tunday on the phone outside. "I love her," he said quietly, "but I'm tired of fighting my own expectations." Her chest caved in. That night, she packed his things neatly. When he arrived, she handed him the bag. "I won't wait to be left," she said calmly. "Go while we still respect each other." Tunday's eyes filled, but he didn't argue. He left. Then, one day, the black convoy rolled into a quote without noise, but its presence bent the town's attention like heat. People paused mid-step. Shop owners leaned forward. Phones came out. "He's back," someone whispered. Adekunle Rhodes. Born in this town, raised by a struggling grandmother, now a billionaire music icon who filled stadiums in America and Europe, the kind of woman screamed for and men envied quietly. He didn't come for applause. He came for his grandmother.
Zainab first saw him at the pharmacy. She was buying painkillers she didn't need, anything to keep herself busy, when the room shifted. Not from noise, but from awareness. Like everyone sensed the same thing at once. Adekunle stood by the counter, dressed simply, cap pulled low, still impossible to miss. When he turned, their eyes met. Just briefly. Something in his gaze didn't scan her body, didn't measure, didn't judge. It paused. That unsettled her. He saw her again at the tailoring shop 2 days later. This time he spoke. "You made this?" he asked, lifting a finished jacket. Zainab nodded, cautious. "Yes." "It's excellent," he said. "My grandma will like it." She smiled politely, already looking away. But he didn't leave. "You don't look surprised to see me," he added. She shrugged. Fame doesn't change people. Adekunle studied her like she was a puzzle he wasn't rushing to solve. "It's Ade," he said. "I know," she replied. That made him laugh. He kept coming back. Not daily, not desperately, just consistently. Sometimes for fittings, sometimes with his grandmother, sometimes alone. They talked about music, about travel, about nothing important. He never asked about her past. That scared her more than gossip ever had. One evening, as they closed the shop together, he said it plainly. "I like you." Her breath caught. "You shouldn't." "Why?" She looked away. "Because people don't stay." He didn't argue. He just said, "I'm not people." Zainab decided to end it before it started. She invited him over and told him everything. No softening, no tears, just truth. She watched his face carefully, waiting for the moment men always reached, the moment disappointment took control. It never came. Instead, Adekunle exhaled slowly. "Thank you for trusting me." "That's it?" she bitterly asked. He met her eyes. "You are not a defect." Her chest cracked open. When intimacy came, it was careful, quiet, respectful. Afterward, she turned away instinctively, waiting for the familiar shift. It didn't happen. Adekunle wrapped his arm around her. She froze. "You're not leaving?" she whispered. "Why would I?" Men had left for less. Men had left for more. But he stayed. The town noticed. Whispers returned, but different. "Is it true? What does he see in her? He'll leave soon." They waited. He didn't. Adekunle took her to doctors in the city. Then abroad. America wasn't glamorous to Zainab. It was cold, clinical, hopeful, and terrifying. There were consultations, therapies, procedures. Nothing rushed, nothing promised. Adekunle never pressured her. "I'm here whether this works or not." For the first time in her life, healing didn't feel like a condition for love. When they returned to Okwate, the wedding followed quietly. No spectacle, just truth. The same mouths that mocked her now whispered in envy. The same women who laughed now studied her clothes, her confidence, her glow. Men who once joked avoided her eyes. Zainab didn't look back. She didn't need to. On their wedding night, she cried, not from fear, not from pain, but from relief. She had survived shame. She had survived being reduced to one part of her body, and she had been chosen fully. Years later, people would tell the story differently. They'd say she was lucky. They'd say she married above her station. They'd say money saved her. But Zainab knew the truth. What changed her life wasn't wealth. It was the first man who stayed.
Thanks for watching. Please tell us where you are watching from.